Hi everyone, David McDonald here from Vitality Fitness Calgary. We're going to talk to you today a little bit about stress and emotional well-being and then how that can really impact the progress you're going to see, whether you're working out, you're going to the gym, you're coming to boot camp here at Vitality Fitness. So we're going to dive into this topic right away, and you guys will walk out of here with some good information on why it's important to manage stress and how important emotional well-being is, especially if you're wanting to see some great progress physically. So, help, I'm stressed. Very, very common thing that we deal with today in our society is people are stressed. They work long hours, they're juggling a lot of responsibilities, there's the work life, there's the home life, so there's a lot of things going on. So, managing the day-to-day stresses of life is really, really important, not only for mental health and emotional well-being, but it's also going to have a huge impact on physical activity and whether or not you see changes, following a food plan or following an exercise plan. So we're going to go into that a little bit, and you guys will walk away with some great information. So the first thing that you want to look at when it comes to stress is whenever your body feels stressed or your body is going through something very emotional, very, very emotionally draining or very, very difficult, it's going to produce a hormone called cortisol. Okay, so cortisol is known as the stress hormone. So that hormone can be brought on by anything. It could be emotional stress, it could be work stress, it could be even workout stress, so working out too much and not getting enough recovery. It could be from dietary stress, eating too many processed foods or not eating enough calories. That's a stress on your body. So we're going to focus more on mental and emotional stress. You experience any of that, you're going to have an increase in your cortisol hormone. Okay? So what that signals to your body is emergency. Whenever your body sees increased cortisol levels, your body automatically goes into emergency mode. Okay, we're in emergency mode, it's a state of panic. The very first thing your body's going to do when you're in emergency mode is it's going to store fat. Okay, it's a protection mechanism, it's a survival mechanism, it's a survival instinct that your body has. I'm going to store fat because I'm in stress mode right now and I need that body fat. So, very, very important to look at that. And whenever you feel mental and emotional stress, we can all feel it inside our body. We've all been there where we've had something really stressful happen, and you can just feel the stress in your body. Your cortisol levels go up. Okay, now when your body is in store mode, that's going to make it very difficult for you to lose body fat. Make it very difficult for you to see progress. It make it very difficult for you to continually work out and train and eat healthy. So cortisol levels are very important to manage. Now, funny story, kind of a side note, I had a client who worked a very high-end corporate job with an oil and gas company. And usually every probably 6 weeks, she would hit a really stressful point at work. And first thing that would happen is she would start to plateau. Her weight loss would plateau. She wouldn't feel motivated for her workouts. She wouldn't feel motivated to follow her nutrition program. Okay, so her cortisol levels were elevated, which was impacting a lot of things. Now, what was interesting was, usually when she had a very stressful time at work, she would follow that up with a vacation. Okay, she would go on vacation, she would relax, she would hang out, she'd get some workouts in, she would be a little more lax on her food plan. But what was interesting is that when she'd come back, she would immediately break that plateau. So she actually lost weight and she went on vacation. So and it was like clockwork this happened. So what that showed us is that her stress levels decreased, her cortisol levels decreased, and her body went out of emergency mode, went out of storage mode. Okay, so hope you guys are starting to see how important that is from a hormone standpoint, is managing that cortisol level. Okay, another thing that happens is when that stress hormone increases, your body is going to start to crave glucose and sugar. So one thing that I'm sure you've experienced is when you're stressed, what happens? You start to crave, sugary foods. Personally, for me, whenever I'm stressed, I crave chocolate. I crave pizza. So a lot of the reason that's happening is my cortisol levels have gone up because I'm stressed, therefore my body's craving glucose, okay, craving sugar, craving high carbohydrate foods, usually not the good kind. So invariably, I start to crave junk food. So you guys are starting to see the correlation there. 9 out of every 10 people this is going to happen to where they get stressed. They're going to crave glucose. They're going to need that glucose fix from something. They're going to eat some sugar, chocolate, candy, something, and that glucose is going to get elevated. So that's another thing that happens. When you are stressed, whether it's emotionally or mentally, another thing happens is your body starts to decrease endorphin levels or neurotransmitters. So an endorphin is layman's terms for neurotransmitters. So your neurotransmitters are the feel-good chemicals in your brain. So you have 2 main neurotransmitters in your brain that your body produces naturally. And your body will actually produce these in higher levels when you're active. Okay, there's dopamine and there's serotonin. So most of you have probably had that post-workout buzz. You probably experienced runner's high. These are all examples of your endorphins being elevated, your dopamine levels going up, your serotonin levels going up. That's why every time you do a workout, you feel amazing. Maybe getting to the workout and doing it's difficult, but afterwards you feel like $1,000,000. And that's because the dopamine and serotonin levels and neurotransmitters are elevated. So when you feel stressed, those things go down. So decrease in dopamine, decrease in serotonin. Okay, now what else can bring up those dopamine and serotonin levels? Things like sugar, things like junk food, things like carbohydrates. So you guys see the relationship here. So you're stressed emotionally or mentally, your cortisol goes up, your glucose cravings go up, your neurotransmitter levels go down, your endorphins go down. Okay? To get those endorphin levels up, to cure that great glucose craving, your body's going to crave sweets, carbohydrates. You eat those sweets and carbohydrates, your dopamine and serotonin levels go up. Okay, your glucose levels are also going to go up, and you're going to take away that glucose craving. Now, you guys see how this is all interconnected and how it really is important to manage those stress levels, because this is the cascade of events that happens when you don't. And that's why exercise is so important to do, especially for managing stress, because our exercise levels are high, okay, we're more likely to decrease our cortisol levels, and we're more likely to increase our dopamine and serotonin levels, which is going to decrease those glucose cravings. So most of you have probably heard this before. The best antidepressant is exercise, okay, and also good nutrition, but mainly exercise. So that's why it's so important you guys are being active. You're active 3, 4, 5 days a week to constantly have those elevated neurotransmitter levels. So hope you guys got a lot of this video. Hope you are starting to understand why managing emotional and mental stress is important. These are the top 3 things you always want to consider, okay, when managing stress levels. Another good thing you can do, meditation's a great idea. Doing yoga, doing things that really calm the mind. Going for a walk, maybe reading something that you really enjoy. Taking vacations. Maybe it's just a vacation 2 hours away. These are all things, again, that are going to really help you manage stress. So, hope you guys got a lot out of that. We'll see you next time.